Earlier this year, Lone Rider sent me their moto tent to try out, and I've since taken it on 11 moto camping trips in various weather conditions. In this video, we'll take a close look at the moto tent's features, how well it holds up in extreme weather, how I mount it to my bike, and my general thoughts to hopefully help you decide if the moto tent is the right choice for you. If you have no idea what the moto tent is, basically it is a tent designed to shelter 1 or 2 riders, the gear, and 1 adventure motorcycle with panniers. It comes with 3 aircraft grade aluminium poles, a ground sheet with SOS printed on it, 18 aircraft grade aluminium pegs to accommodate a wide range of soil conditions, and of course, the tent itself. The waterproof, ultralight, UV resistant ripstop fly is constructed from 210T polyester. The waterproof ripstop floor fabrics are 190T nylon, and the inner tent fabric is a breathable polyester with all fabrics CPA 184 fire retardant. It weighs 5.44 kilos or 12 pounds, packs down to 60 by 20 centimeters or 24 by 8 inches, has a center height of 1.9 meters or 6 foot 3 inches, and just so you know, I'm 5 foot 11 and I can stand in there pretty damn comfortably. But when I do have my boots on and my beanie on and stuff, I do touch the ceiling a little bit in that center part, but sleeping wise, I've got so much space, about that much space, maybe a little bit more, but about that much space between my feet and my head. So if you're taller, you're still gonna be sweet. It has 3 doors, each with mosquito nets, 6 pockets on the inside, 4 in the corners, and 2 in the center panel, and 2 pockets outside in the garage area with 3 hooks for hanging your jacket or lanterns. It takes me just over 5 minutes to set up and pack down solo, and it's all wrapped up in a carry bag with reflective strips and a hazard symbol for when in trouble on the road. One question I get asked quite a lot is, what happens if you break down in the middle of nowhere on your way to your campsite? All I say is, brilliant. Brilliant is the ultimate way to learn about math, science, and computer science, and are the sponsors of this week's video. If you feel like you need to scratch up on your mechanical knowledge, they have a course for this. How about electrical? How about learning the physics behind how to land a front flip on your motorcycle? Brilliant has a huge range of courses with thousands of lessons for lifelong learners of any age. If you're like me and learn by hands-on experience, Brilliant replaces boring lecture videos with exciting hands-on interactive problem solving, which not only makes the learning process enjoyable, but helps you to master skills rather than just memorizing them. When out camping solo, problem solving and decision making are some of the greatest assets you can have. And Brilliant helps you refine those skills so that you can stress less and enjoy more. To get started for free, visit brilliant.org/motofeels or click on the link in the description below. The first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Thank you so much, Brilliant, for your support. Now I know that one of the biggest concerns about the moto tent is its sheer weight and size of it, and that is probably the biggest downfall of the moto tent itself. It's that it's pretty heavy and it's pretty big compared to other tents, and is perhaps the largest deciding factor when it comes to purchasing it. The tent is definitely most suited for those with larger bikes who aren't doing any extreme off-roading. I've only gone out for one night at a time, with the furthest distance being around 300 kilometers. This one, the scrambler here, you can see that I just use a generic pannier rack. I usually have 2 straps. I just use either like grunt straps or those the rock straps. You can tell that it is quite big for the scrambler, and there is definitely weight. If I let go of the bars while I'm riding, the bike just pulls to the left. So there is obviously a lot of weight, and it looks like a damn missile. And of course you get wind resistance as well. So it's definitely more suited for a bike like this. If I was using it on the T7, I reckon I would mount it up like this, and then I've actually got their panniers as well. They stick on the sides here, dunk dunk, have all my gear in those, and then this one on the back. And it looks small on the bloody T7 compared to this guy. And it's until I get the pannier rack system sorted, I can't take the moto tent with me just because there's nowhere to stash it. I mean, I could try to hang it off the side with these tiny little guys, but I don't trust it, obviously. So that's why I've been using the ADV tent with the Tenere. Getting it set up solo is super easy. Once you lay it out and set the 3 color-coded poles, you have 2 red, 1 black being the shorter one. Pin one side down using just 2 pegs, then pull and prop up from the other end and peg it down all around. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. I always use the guy lines just in case it gets mega windy during the night. You don't want the whole thing just flapping about. And let me tell you, this thing can handle some strong wind. A few weeks ago we had some wild weather where I was hit by 2 hailstorms pushed by extreme winds, and the tent held up fine even with the awning kit. Luckily I did have the angle of the tent set up so all the wind was coming from behind the tent and going around, keeping me out of the wind and rain. I was super impressed that none of the pegs came out. All I did was go in and make sure everything was tensioned up nicely, which it all was. It was fine. But that was a very good test. It was blowing a damn gale. Holy crap. There's no trees to break the wind for me either. It was just field, tent, me on the other side going, this is incredible. The hail, although only small, didn't damage the tent whatsoever, and no rain or water seeped through. And I've had this thing in rain many times, and I've never had anything leak inside the tent. I've never had any bugs crawl into the tent. The tent is nice and sealed up. It's super impressive. As I mentioned earlier, I have the awning kit. It consists of 2 extra poles with 2 guy lines, and it allows you to prop up one of the 3 garage flaps for extra shelter, and I think it works incredibly. It allows you to have a little bit more extra shelter while you're cooking. Maybe it is starting to rain a little bit and you really don't want to get your bike wet for whatever reason, and you can just bring it in and you can still sit there with the awning kit and just cook your little meal and you're still dry and out of the weather. It's actually a really cool little addition. I think it's well worth the money. One of the biggest misconceptions about the moto tent is that people think that the garage area is only used for your bike. Sure, it's nice to have it safe with you, out of the elements, and it's actually awesome just waking up and you just unzip your little thing, little door, and have a little peek through and you see your bike there. You're like, nah, we're all nice and cozy in here. And it's actually cool as well. If you're worried about, you know, I got the scrambler and stuff, I don't want it to be seen too often by people, you know, especially at night when you're by yourself. Tuck it away. No one even knows. People probably think you got a massive family in there. Maybe there's like 4 massive dudes in there, you know? But overall, it's, you know, your bike can handle some rain. It'll survive a night outside. Like, it's gonna be fine. For me, the largest advantage of having the garage area is the shelter it provides, especially when adverse weather kicks in. There's nothing more soothing than cooking up a small feast while being all nice and cozy and dry while enjoying the sound of rain hitting the tent. It is literally the ultimate relaxation device. Rain hitting a tent. Oh, so nice. So nice. It's making me sleep. Being able to stand inside the tent to get changed, or to just stand, is something you don't realize you appreciate until you don't have it. Every time I take out a different tent, I miss the moto tent. I use the pockets for easy access to food, and the other pocket for other essentials. I use the hooks for mounting my lanterns, and occasionally my jacket, and at night I like to bring everything in nice and safe. And there's no real reason behind that. I just like doing it. Like, I just like just having all my things inside. Again, if it's just like a massive thing of wind just comes by and throws my chair on my table, see you later. When it's in with me, I know it's all been with me. It's all safe. We're happy days. We're a little family. It's good. I found the moto tent to be great in winter compared to the other normal tents that are sort of open. You can sort of, you know, see the ground and underneath the tent and everything. With the moto tent, you're sealed in a cube with a gap between the inner and the outer layer, which in a way acts as a form of insulation. And also means that your inner tent layer stays condensation free. Now, I haven't used the tent in midsummer yet. Sure, you can open up the garage flaps, open up all your doors, let wind pass through. You got your mozzie nets and everything, so you're fully... Oh man, I think that's a little bit of a... big night last night. So yeah, so your mozzie nets, you're sweet. Nothing, no bugs are gonna come in. Have a nice little drive through. But if you don't have that little breeze and it's like a 30°C night, whew, I reckon it can be a little bit stuffy. But we'll see. I'll let you know in a few months' time. A few days, I put up an Instagram story asking if you had any questions for this review, which I've covered mostly already during this video. First of all, thank you so much for writing in, even though some of the questions were completely irrelevant. Yeah, so here we go. Oh man, struggle. Woo! La 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 la. One of the questions, we got the Moto Scout here. Would you buy the tent if you had to pay full price for it, or would you seek other options? It's a great question. I remember when I saw the Moto tent for the first time, I was just like, that is awesome. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. I want to park my motorcycle in my tent. Hells yeah. But yeah, 769 Australian dollars is, you know, quite expensive considering my very first hiking tent was less than $100. Now, I'm not being paid to say this, but Lone Rider are not only known for their premium gear, but they're also known for their premium customer service. When you buy Lone Rider gear, and not only just tents, you know that you're getting some of the highest quality on the market. You can feel the quality in the fabric, and you know that thought has gone into each and every one of their products. And if you jump on their channel, you can see that they're actively creating and designing new products and sharing the progress with the riding community. They even replied to the same Instagram story asking me to let them know of anything that they can improve. So yes, absolutely, I would invest in a tent from a reputable brand that I know that I can trust. However, if you've never moto camped or camped in general, then I'd suggest just getting a cheap tent with just the basics, just in case you don't like the experience, just in case you're not a happy camper. If you head out from about 5 to 7 times a year, or if you enjoy camping in the rain like I do, then yeah, absolutely go ham. Another question was, if you were camping for a week, would you still bring this one? Also love your vids. Thank you so much. This is something that I've thought about many times, and it is something that I'm constantly thinking about, because I really do want to do that sometime soon. If I was doing the week on the Scrambler, absolutely not. I'd take something lighter due to just having the weight on the one side, or the wind drag, burn through fuel, all that sort of stuff. The T7 is definitely a different story, where I could put the moto tent up in the back and just have the panniers loaded, or have the ADV tent in the pannier bag along with all my gear and leave the rear rack free. But because I'm filming all the time, I consider my circumstances to be a little bit different to the average camper. So yes, I'd most likely bring along the moto tent on the T7 for ease of cooking and filming and storage of gear in adverse weather. Otherwise, I would go as minimal as possible. And finally, is the red annoying from the inside in the morning? Surprisingly, it isn't. But I did do some research, and I'll put the link in the description below if you want to look into this further. What I found was red light wavelengths stimulate the production of melatonin. So that's cool. Helps you sleep. So that's good for nighttime, maybe not so much in the morning. But studies have also found that red light delivered through closed eyelids at levels that don't suppress melatonin may help sleep inertia when waking. What's sleep inertia? Sleep inertia is that groggy feeling that lingers after you wake up, which can affect your short-term memory, alertness, and overall performance. Pretty much what I'm feeling right now. I woke up just so, I can't wake up. I don't know what's happening. Come on, Rob. Whether or not that's why they made it red, I've got no idea. But what I would like to see is a stealth version, maybe something with some camo, you know, so you can just hide in the bushes or something without standing out like a sore thumb. But keep the pegs red. Red pegs are the best. You can actually see them. Black pegs, the worst. Red, best. There's lots to consider before buying a tent for moto camping. Your bike size, where you'll be mounting it, what weather conditions you'll be camping in, what terrain you'll be riding in, and so on. I know there's guys that look at my setup just like, what the hell, man? You literally have my entire living room on the back of your bike. And they have tents that literally fit in the palm of their hand, which is a super minimalist vibe, and I'm down with that, maybe eventually, later. But right now, I'm enjoying the moto tent. And camping is supposed to be an enjoyable experience. If you want to go hammock style, bushcraft style, do whatever makes you feel comfortable. But right now I'm enjoying the moto tent, and is what I'll be using more often than none. If you do find that the moto tent is the right choice for you, please consider using the affiliate link in the description below, where I do receive a small kickback from each purchase made at no extra cost to you, and it goes a long way in supporting the channel. Another massive thank you to Brilliant for sponsoring this week's video, and I would love to have your thoughts on the Lone Rider moto tent. Can you see yourself living the camping life in one with the rain and all the things? Standing up, cooking, shelter? Or do you prefer something different? Maybe you like to have a little tent and you got your tarp stuff on top of them, you know, which is something I want to experiment with as well. I reckon those shelters with the tarps and stuff look awesome. But let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next vid. Boys! Lone Rider holding up. Whoa! She's hanging there. It's just rain now. That's all good. No hail. Look at that, man. Hectic. This is hectic. Woo!